If you receive this message, this is a divinely channeled message from God to me, to you. You are so much more powerful than you think you are. See, you were created in the image and likeness of God. God is the creator. That means that your very nature, your essence, is creative. It's to create. You are the creator of your life, the situations and the experiences in your life. You create everything. The reason why you create it is because there is medicine in those experiences. There is healing in those experiences. And in the experiences that you do not like, you're being called to look at the images on the screen, meaning what seems to be happening in your life, in your reality, the situations, the people, and say, what is within me, within my consciousness, within my subconscious mind that is creating this? If you are in a dysfunctional relationship where there is chaos, where there is drama, where there is jealousy, possessiveness, what within you is creating this relationship? The relationship is occurring so that you can see the contents of your mind. Meaning, you believe that love is possessiveness. You believe that jealousy is love. You have a belief that love and abuse are one of the same. You have a belief, unconscious belief within you that says drama is love. You probably saw that often growing up, dysfunction and discord between your parents or in romantic relationships in your mother's life or in your father's life. You probably were programmed early on to believe, if not through witnessing the interpersonal relationships in your life, also witnessing movies and television and music and just the programming in general when it comes to relationships, that love is supposed to be passionate, which is really just love and hate together. This is not love. But if you are experiencing such relationships, it's simply a gift that God, that Spirit is giving you to show you what you believe about love. But once you withdraw your investment in that, once you realize how absurd it is to love and hate at the same time, once you realize how your unconscious beliefs about love are creating dysfunction and discord and disharmony and suffering in your life, you literally stop it. You literally stop it. You're just like, wow. You know, I'll never forget one of the most transformative experiences of my life. I was in a really deep meditation, and at the time I had a lot of dysfunctional relationships, you know, very abusive, possessive, jealous, you know, physically abusive type relationships. And this was in my early 20s. And at the time, I had Marilyn Monroe posters and stuff all over my apartment. And my dog's name, who's 13 now, is Marilyn Monroe. And Spirit came to me and said, Why do you like abuse? And you always know when it's something higher than you, right? Like some higher power, because you would never ask that question. You would never even think that, right? Like, why? That doesn't make any sense. Why would I like abuse? But Spirit just dropped in. It was like just this download, and it was like, why do you like abuse? And I answered, I don't like abuse. And Spirit said, yes, you do. Because if you didn't like abuse, you wouldn't be creating it. You wouldn't be creating relationships that are abusive. But you believe that abuse is love. And so you create these toxic, dramatic, aggressive or passive aggressive, possessive, hot and cold relationships because you believe that's what love is. And Spirit asked me, and why do you idolize Marilyn Monroe? And I said, idolize? That's a pretty strong word. I don't idolize Marilyn Monroe. And Spirit was like, really? Because you have posters of her like in every room in your apartment, even your bathrooms. Your dog's name is Marilyn Monroe, and you even have clothes with her picture on it. So what do you like so much about Marilyn Monroe? And what I liked about Marilyn Monroe, you know, I tried to answer, and it was that I felt that she used her femininity, her sensuality. She wasn't afraid of it, of embracing it at a time where that was kind of looked down upon for women. And she was voluptuous like me, so it made me feel more confident about my body. And I enjoyed her kind of wild and free nature. And Spirit told me, was Marilyn Monroe happy? Asked me. And I'm like, no. Was Marilyn Monroe really free? And did she really find herself beautiful? Or was it all a facade to fill some deep void within her? And I'm like, yes, it was a facade to fill a deep void within her. And Spirit said, don't you see that that's what you're doing? With the romantic relationships and this obsession with romance and this codependency, this need for another person, and the drinking and the drugs and the dating and this whole thing. It was just like this addiction to drama. You know, the high that comes from being desired and from being seemingly needed or wanted, really obsessed with by someone else. And I saw that all my life with my mom. Every 2 years, my mom was in a new relationship. You know, she always said that relationships, you know, that passion and that love would go away. And that's not even true. Like, you haven't even experienced true love in a relationship until you're together for a few years and that infatuation wears away. And it took a lot of healing, a lot of internal work for me to come to the place where I understood that I was creating all the dysfunction in my life, that I was idolizing dysfunction, that it made me feel alive. Dear brother, dear sister, you're creating your own suffering. And there's another choice. The choice to choose again, to choose harmony, to choose peace, to choose true love, beginning with love for yourself, honoring yourself, and not wanting to put yourself through any more abuse or pain. It's an act of love to stop the suffering in your life and in the lives of those you love. You can only experience the contrast, the darkness, the dysfunction, the discord, the pain for so long. Eventually, you have to make another choice. Realize that you are creating it, that you are the creator, and stop feeding into the illusions and feeding into the suffering, and choose again. Choose again.